Hello, welcome to my Crochet Mothman plushie tutorial. Like in my previous video, I have the written pattern available on my Instagram and my Ravelry, both of which will be in the description of this video. To make this pattern, you will need a 3.5mm crochet hook, scissors, a stitch counter, a yarn needle, a stitch marker, red yarn, and black yarn, along with something to stuff the plushie with. We are going to start off by making the eyes. Using the red yarn, we are going to first make a magic ring. Then inside of the magic ring, we are going to place 6 single crochet inside of it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can pull the tail of the magic ring closed and begin row 2 of the eyes, which is 6 increases, so 12 stitches in total. For an increase, you just need to make 2 single crochet inside of 1 stitch, as so. So 1, 2 stitches inside of that. 1, 2. And you're going to continue this until you have 12 stitches in the row. Now that we have finished row 2 of the eye, we can cut off a long tail of yarn so we can sew it onto the head later. Make sure to make another eye for a total of 2 eyes that you can sew into the head later. Now we are going to make the head of the Mothman plushie, and then also sew on the eyes. Using your black yarn, you are going to make a magic ring, and then put 8 single crochet inside of it. I do plan on making and posting a magic ring tutorial because exactly 1 person asked for it, so be on the lookout for that. If you need to, you can tighten the magic ring just a little bit so it's easier to work with, but make sure to not close it all the way just yet. Yeah, you can close the magic ring all the way and get started on the second row, which is just 8 increases. So 2 single crochet in each of the 8 stitches, leaving you with 16 at the end of the row. I am sorry if it's hard to see where I'm placing my hook with the black yarn. I put extra lights, so I'm hoping that helps out a little bit. I've just finished the second row, so now we can get started on the third row. It is a pattern of an increase and then a single crochet. Here I'm placing a stitch marker so I don't lose my place. In the first stitch I will be placing an increase, so just 2 single crochet. And then in the second stitch, I'll be placing 1 single crochet. 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, then 1 single crochet. You will repeat this pattern of an increase, then single crochet 8 times around the entire row, leaving you with a total of 24 stitches in the round. Here I am, just having finished the third row, and now it's time to work on the fourth row. You will be doing an increase, so 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and then in the next 2 stitches you'll be placing 1 single crochet. So 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. You will be repeating this throughout the round, so for a total of 32 stitches in the round. I've just finished the 4th round, and now it's time to work on the 5th round. For the 5th round, you'll be doing an increase, so 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. And then for the next 3 stitches, you'll be placing 1 single crochet. So 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. You will be repeating this pattern of an increase and then 3 single crochet for the entire round. And at the end, you should have 40 single crochet in the round. I have just finished row 5, and now we are going to work on the next 6 rounds. For rows 6 through 11, we will just be placing 1 single crochet in each of the stitches, so 40 single crochet in each of the rounds. I have just finished row 6 of 40 single crochet in the round, and you are going to repeat this until you have completed row 11. After completing row 11, this is what you should have. And now we are going to work on row 12. To start off, you are going to make a decrease. To make a decrease, you're going to grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet with them. Then after that, you're going to make 3 single crochet. So grab the next 2 stitches front loops and single crochet with them, then single crochet like normal in the next 3 stitches. And you will be doing this in the entire round for a total of 32 stitches at the end. Just finished my 32 stitches in row 12, and now it's time to work on row 13. For this row, you are going to do a decrease, so grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, and then do 2 single crochet after. Grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches and crochet with them. Then do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then you're going to repeat that pattern for the rest of the round until you have 24 stitches in the round. After finishing row 13, it's time to work on row 14. Row 14, we're going to do 1 decrease, so grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, and then do 1 single crochet after. You're going to repeat this until you have 16 stitches in the round. Now we are going to work on row 15, which is a 16 single crochet in the round. So just do 1 single crochet in each stitch. After you have finished row 15, we are going to stuff the head and then sew on the eyes. I have just finished row 15, and before we start the body, we are going to stuff the head and then sew on the eyes. So grab whatever polyfill, yarn, fabric, or whatever else you may be using for stuffing, and put it inside the head. I will show you my process. Usually I stuff my plushies with a mixture of polyfill and yarn. But if you choose to use yarn, make sure that it matches the color of the item you are working on so you don't see it through the stitches when you are done. I prefer to keep my plushies a little bit squishy, but if you prefer yours to be a little bit more firm, just add more stuffing. Now it is time to sew on the eyes. The eyes we are going to be using are the red ones that we made previously. So grab one of the red eyes and your yarn needle, and stick the tail of the yarn through the eye of the needle, so you can sew it onto the head. You can sew the eyes on wherever you want, but I prefer to keep mine in the middle, if not a little bit below the middle, for a little more baby look, I guess. I have mostly finished sewing on the eye, but I'm just going to show you how I like to tie off the items I have to sew onto plushies. I just put the needle through the little loop that you create, and I do that a couple times just to keep it in place. And then I stick the yarn through the body of whatever I am making and just pull it through. Because the head is still open, I will just shove the yarn back through into the stuffing. Now you just need to sew on the other eye, which I'm going to do off camera. Now it is time to work on the body of the Mothman. Starting from where we left off on the head, we are going to start working on row 16, which is just an increase. So 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet. 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet. Do your best to not crochet the polyfill into your stitches, like I just did here. Again, for this row you're going to do increases, then single crochet until you have 24 stitches in total. Now that we have completed row 16, it is time to work on row 17, which is just an increase, so 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And you will repeat this pattern until you have 32 stitches in the round. After row 17, it is now time for row 18. So you start off with an increase once again. So 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. one increase, so 2 single crochet in one stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And you will repeat this pattern until you have 40 stitches in the round. It's time for row 19. So you just start with an increase once again. So 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1 increase, so 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and then for the next 4 stitches, you're going to place 1 single crochet. You will repeat this pattern until you have 48 stitches in the round. Now that we have finished row 19, we get to work on the next 6 stitches, all of which contain 48 single crochet in the round. So for row 20, you are just going to do 48 single crochet, 1 single crochet in each stitch. And then you will repeat that until you have finished row 25. This is what your Mothman should look like once you have finished with row 25. Now it is time to work on row 26. To start off, you are going to make a decrease. So as you remember, you will grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches and then single crochet with them. After, you will make 4 single crochet, so 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1 decrease, grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, then 4 single crochet. 1 more time, grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, then single crochet in the next 4 stitches. You will repeat that until you have 40 stitches in the round. I've just finished row 26, and now it's time to work on row 27. Start off by grabbing the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches to make a decrease, then do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches to decrease, then single crochet once in the next 3 stitches. You will repeat this pattern until you have 32 stitches in the round. After row 27, it will be time to work on row 28. Start off with another decrease, so grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, single crochet with them, then do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Decrease, grab the front 2 loops, then single crochet once in the next 2 stitches. You will repeat this pattern in the round until you have 24 stitches. We are almost done. It is time to work on row 29. So start off with the decrease. Grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, single crochet with them, then only do 1 single crochet after that in the next stitch. Do another decrease, grab the front 2 loops and single crochet with them, then do 1 single crochet in the next 1 stitch. You will repeat this pattern until you have 16 stitches in the round. Once you are done with this round, it will be time to stuff the body. I have just finished row 29, and now I'm going to grab my polyfill and begin stuffing. If you do not have polyfill, you can use yarn, fabric, or anything else really that can stuff it and make it squishy. The more squishy you want your plushie to be, the less stuff you will stuff with it, and the more firm that you want it to be, the more stuff you will stuff with it. I have just finished stuffing the body of the plushie, and now it's time to do the last round, which is just helping to close off the body. For this round, you will just be doing 8 decreases. So grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches. Do your best to not grab any fluff with it, and single crochet with it. Grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, and single crochet with them. One last time, grab the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches, and single crochet with them. You will repeat this until you have 8 stitches in the round. And after that, I will show you how I like to close off my plushies. I have just finished with all of my decreases. Feel free to add more stuffing if you feel it's needed. Cut off a tail of yarn that you will use to tie it off. Make sure it's pretty long, but not too long. We don't want to waste any yarn here. Grab your yarn needle, and then put the tail of yarn through the eye of the needle. What I like to do is guide the needle through the front loops of each of the stitches. I usually do it 2 at a time, but you can do it more or less. Just whatever is easier for you. And pull it through. So guide the needle through the front 2 loops, and then pull it all the way through. Do that for the rest of the round. Here I am pulling it through the last 2 loops, and then I'm going to show you how I like to tie a nice knot so it doesn't become undone in the future. So pull the needle through a little bit, and then pull the back of the needle through that little loop you have created. Here I am doing it again. Then once you are done with that, just stick the needle through the body and pull the yarn through. Detach the needle and cut off any excess yarn. I like to put it in my stuffing to use for later. And you are done with the head and the body of the moth. Now we finally get to work on the ears, or like little antenna things, of the moth. To start off, we are going to make a magic ring and then put 4 single crochet inside of it. Make sure to tighten the magic ring when you're done. Just pull on the little tail like this. For the second row, we are going to make 4 increases. So do 2 single crochet in each of the stitches. So 1, 2 stitches in this one, another 2 single crochet, 1, 2, and finally last one, 1, 2. You should have 8 stitches in the round when you are done. For the next 6 rounds, so rounds 3 through 8, you are just going to insert 1 single crochet in each of the stitches in the round. This means that there should be 8 stitches in each of the rounds. I have just finished with row 3. Like I said, you're going to repeat this until you have finished with row 8 of the ear. Make sure to make 2 of these because the Mothman requires 2 antennas. Here's what you should be left with after you have finished row 8. Just cut off the tail of yarn. Make sure it's long enough that you can sew it onto the head right after. And you should have 2 antennas in total. I choose to not fill the ears with stuffing because they stand up well on their own, but you can add stuffing if you really want to. Now you can just sew the ears onto the head. This is what Mothman's head should look like once you have sewn on the antennas. Now we get to work on the limbs, or like the arms and legs. We are going to start off with a magic ring, and then place 8 single crochet inside of the magic ring. Once you have put the 8 stitches inside of the ring, make sure to pull the ring closed, and then you can start on row 2. 8 increases. So put 2 single crochet in each of the 8 stitches from the first round. You should be left with a total of 16 stitches in the round. You have finished with the second round, it is time to work on the next 3 rounds, so rows 3 through 5, all of which contain 16 single crochet. So all you need to do for the next 3 rounds is just put 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. And here's what you should have after you have finished round 5. Cut off a long tail of yarn so you can sew it onto the body later, and tie it off as I have shown here. You need to repeat the previous steps 3 more times so you have 4 limbs in total, 2 for the arms and 2 for the legs. Make sure to stuff all the limbs with the stuffing you are using before you sew them onto the body. And here's what the Mothman's body should look like after you have sewn on all the limbs. Now we get to work on the final part of the Mothman, which is making and sewing on the wings. To start on the wings, we are going to make a magic ring, and then place 8 single crochet inside of it. After that, we are going to work on the second round, which is 8 increases. So put 2 single crochet in each of the 8 stitches we have created inside the magic ring. In total, there should be 16 stitches at the end of the round. Once you have finished the second round, it is time to work on the third round. To start off, we are going to make an increase, so 2 single crochet in the next stitch. I like to crochet in the tail of the magic ring, but you don't have to. You can just sew it in after. After the increase, you are going to make 1 single crochet in the stitch after. And 1 increase, so 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next. You'll repeat this increase, then 1 single crochet pattern throughout the entire round until you have 24 stitches in the round. We're done with round 3, we get to work on round 4. Start off with an increase, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, then do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 increase, 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. You will repeat this increase and 2 single crochet pattern around the entire round until you have 32 stitches in the round. For the last round, round 5, we are just going to do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches we have created. So in total there should be 32 single crochet at the end because you have made 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. Once you are done with round 5, cut off a long tail so you can sew it onto the back later. And make sure to make 1 more wing because Mothman has 2 wings. This is what the wing should look like when you are done. Once you have finished making both of the wings, we get to sew them onto the back of Mothman. Grab your yarn needle and put the tail of yarn through the eye of the needle. I will be showing you how to sew on the wings because I like to do mine a very particular way. Make sure to line the wings up beforehand how you want them to lay on the body. Once I have figured out where I want the wing to be, I will start sewing it on, like how I am in the video right now. I like to add a lot of stitches so it stays nice and firmly onto the body without having any chance of it coming loose in the future. Once I feel like I have added enough stitches, I will turn the body around and then lift the wing up a little bit. Then I start sewing it on just like how I was before, but on the bottom side, just for extra protection. You can sew on the wings any way you like, but this is just how I do it because I don't want the wing becoming loose over time. You have to tie it off. Put the yarn through a little bit, then pull the needle through the loop you have just created. And do that 1 or 2 more times just to add a really secure knot. Once you are done with that, put the needle through the body and then pull the yarn tail through. After, just cut off the excess yarn. Now you have finished sewing on one of the wings. You just need to repeat the previous steps 1 more time and then you will be done with the Mothman. Make sure to line the wings up so they're pretty symmetrical. And this is what the back of the Mothman should look like when you are done sewing on the wings. And this is what the front should look like. I hope this tutorial was easy enough to follow, and if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments. So, if you have any suggestions on what I should make for my next tutorial, please let me know in the comments as well. Have a great day. Goodbye.